it is 9 p.m. in RT. It's time to English edition. For tonight headlines we have Djibouti climate pioneer in Africa shares its secrets. Hero included in the list of intangible cultural heritage. The year 2023 will be the hottest in history after a record November. Welcome to our newsroom. Prime Minister His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, in the company of several members of the government and representatives of the diplomatic and consular bodies, visit the third edition of the Djibouti International Fair at the Red Sea World International Exhibition Center, located on the site of the former port of Djibouti. The Djibouti International Fair is an opportunity to celebrate national development and the influence of the private sectors by providing leadership to the emergence of innovations and our economic potential, in particular by raising the geostrategic position of Djibouti. Indeed, this initiative makes it possible to expose private and foreign operators who are successfully integrating into the company of our country, a competitive advantage which creates a favorable ecosystem conducive to the creation of wealth and jobs. It should be noted, however, that this exceptional advantage is offered by the Republic of Djibouti as a commercial location are undeniable opportunities. The Third International Fair of Djibouti provides exhibition stand for more than 200 members from all over the world, including Chinese, French, Japanese, Turkish, Ethiopian companies. This fair reflects the geographical position of Djibouti at the crossroad of several continents and pivotal in regional and global trade. These structural assets create an ecosystem favorable to business communities and make Djibouti a privileged destination for entrepreneurship and better regional continental integration, supposed to lead to the single market that are COMESA and the Continental Free Trade Area. Finally, this platform contributes to the considerably increase in the volume of intra-African trade, a case that reflects the crucial role of collaborator and business networking. Also, this major national event offers our companies a unique opportunity to stand out, build strong commercialities, and increase their visibility on the regional and international scene. 3 days after its official launch by Djibouti's number one, the third edition of the Djibouti International Fair is fully swinging at the Red Sea World International Exhibition Center. This year's fair brings together hundreds of exhibitors, thousands of visitors, and exhibitors from over 16 different countries, confirming Djibouti's position as a commercial crossroads. An initiative dedicated to promoting national development. The Djibouti International Fair is a major platform for our country to showcase its key assets and multifaceted economic potential, notably its prime geographical location and modern infrastructure, including ports, a free trade zone, and telecommunication. Through its different editions, the Djibouti International Fair subscribes to the strategic objective is of ensuring a massive influx of foreign private operators into our country, conducive to the creation of wealth and jobs. Its undoubted merit lies to its established vocations to work towards achieving media visibility on the exceptional advantages offered by the Republic of Djibouti as a business and investment location. The Speaker of the Kenyan National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, ended his 3-day working visit to Djibouti on Tuesday evening in the absence of the President, Dilleta Mohamed Dilleta, who took off in the early afternoons for Djibouti. The President afternoon for the United Emirates and official missions. The members of the National Assembly, the Bureau led by the first Vice President and acting President of the National Assembly, Safiya Ilmi Jibril, and the second Vice President Omar Ahmed Wais, and the Questor Ibrahim Ahmed Abdou, and the Secretary Suleiman Daher Bide. After a brief meeting in the airport VIP lounge, greeted President Moses Masika Wetangula and his delegation before departing for Kenya. During this visit, which is part of the strong fraternal ties between the two countries, Parliament President Moses Masika Wetangula held talks with President Dileta Mohamed Dileta and members of the Parliament's Bureau, as well as the country's main economic player, to discuss ways of strengthening cooperation between the two countries. On the morning of Sunday, December 3, Moses Masika Wetangula delivered a stirring speech to the National Parliament in which he set out his visions of the future of the regions and the continent in an inspiring perspective is full of hope. As part of his working visit to Qatar, the Minister of Justice Ali Hassan Bahdoun, accompanied by Djibouti's ambassador to Qatar, Daib Dubadroble, and some of his close collaborators, met on Monday, December 4, 2023, with His Excellency Dr. Hassan bin Lahdan Al Mohammadi, former Minister of Justice and current President of the Supreme Judicial Council of the State of Qatar, to strengthen judicial relations between our two countries. The meeting focused on the changes or reforms underway in the judicial systems of both countries, with a particular emphasis on mutual experience in the field of judicial organizations. Both parties reaffirmed their commitment to improving judicial cooperation and strengthening bilateral relations, as well as exchanging experiences and expertise in the common interests of the judicial systems of the two sister countries. The Djibouti delegation was also given a detailed explanation of the Council's working mechanism and remit. It should be noted that this visit completed and enriched the bilateral judicial cooperation between the two countries, launched in 2010, followed by the signing of a memorandum of understanding on judicial cooperation between the two parties. In the framework of the strong fraternal relations between Djibouti and Saudi Arabia, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillays, received a delegation from the King Salman Center for Humanitarian Aid and Relief, accompanied by the ambassador of the Guardian of the Two Holy Mosques in Djibouti, bin Sultan. During the meeting attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry, Muhammad Ali Muhammad, the two parties reviewed fraternal relations as well as the anti-cataract medical caravan currently underway at the Hussein Reproductive Health Reference Center in Balbala by the Saudi medical team from the King Salman Center for Humanitarian Aid and Relief. The Minister of Health welcomed the joint cooperation between Djibouti and Saudi Arabia, particularly in the field of health. After that, the Minister of Health and the Saudi delegation paid an inspection visit to the medical convoy at the Hussein Center, where around 200 people underwent surgery, were welcomed by the Director General of Djibouti University Hospital, Dr. Omar Ismail Mahmoud, under the medical staff of this hospital. During his tour, the Minister closely inspected the services provided to citizens, which are part of his department effort to reduce blindness in Djibouti. It should be noted that this medical convoy, which reflects health cooperation between Djibouti and the Kingdom, will continue until December 13th, and it represents an opportunity for people suffering from vision problems, particularly cataracts. On the occasions of the COP28, the agriculturists of the Republic of Djibouti, the Minister of Agriculture, Mohamed Ahmed Awale, participated actively at the meeting focused on building resilience in a context of fragility. And the sessions highlighted the common challenges of the Sahel Djibouti in the faces of climate changes, and allowed the minister to share the innovative initiatives put in place by the Djibouti government, located at the entrance to the Red Sea and faces in arid climates with an average annual precipitations of only 115 millimeters. The rural population practices extensive livestock farming, and to face the challenges linked to the availability of waters and pastures, breeders and have adopted transhumance towards border countries in accordance with the traditional agreement. The minister underlined the similarity of challenges and opportunities between the Sahel and Djibouti, highlighting a continuous exchanges of expertise between the two regions. The four key lessons presented by the minister are as follows. The participatory and community approach is fundamental for the effectiveness and sustainability of interventions. The Minister of Agriculture shared the experience of Djibouti aimed at empowering pastoral communities in the management of waters and further resources discussing highlighted lessons learned from a regional approach to building community resilience in the faces of multiple shocks. The Minister of Energy responsible for natural resources, His Excellency Yunus Ali Geddi, accompanied by his technical advisor Mahdi Waberi Hassan, and the Director of Energy, Guled Mohammed Jama, took part yesterday as part of the COP28 meetings in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates in an important meeting of delegations from member countries of the Global Climate Coalition. The objective of this meeting was to formulate recommendations for a rapid and equitable deployment of renewable energies and green hydrogen in the world in general and in Africa in particular, and establishment of planning in order to reduce half of times for obtaining permits by 2013 and effectively involve a community. Indeed, according to many experts, the amount of renewable energy needed to move away from fossil fuel is on a scale never seen before, but one of that the international community could not afford to fail. The 18th session is of the Intangible Cultural Heritage Committee anniversary of the 2003 convention was held today in Botswana, and more specifically in Kazan. Our country was represented by Ayad Moussaoud Yahya, Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to France and permanent delegate to France. Ayad Moussaoud Yahya, delegate in UNESCO, who lead a Djiboutian delegation comprising UNESCO national experts Idris Musa Ahmed and cultural advisor Farhan Ali Umar, and who took part in this international cultural conference organized each year. The register and safeguard intangible cultural heritage such as oral traditions, performing arts, social practices, ritual and festive event, knowledge and practices concerning nature and universe and traditional craft skills. The Secretary of State for Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, orchestrated a sumptuous lunch in honor of the Indian Ocean delegation, thanked all the officials and members of his department actively engaged in the organizations of the meeting of the Indian Ocean ORAD Council at the Jannatain restaurant. Members of the delegation, made up of representatives from member countries of the Indian Ocean regions, converged on Djibouti to deliberate on crucial issues related to the fight against doping and sports development in the regions under the auspices of the State Secretary for Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil. This exceptional event was marked by warm conviviality and fruitful discussions, commitment to sporting integrity and strengthening ties between Indian Ocean nations was at the heart of the deliberations, exemplifying a dynamic and unified partnership. Our non-resident ambassador of Djibouti to Libya met the prime ministers of the Libyan government of the national unity on the sidelines of the Conference of Sahel-Saharan countries in Tripoli. Non-resident ambassador of Djibouti to Libya, permanent representative of Djibouti to the League of Arab States, Mr. Ahmed Ali Barre, meet the head of the government of the national unity, Abdul Hamid Al-Dubeiba, conveying the greetings of His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh, emphasizing our country's support for everything in the interest of the security and stability of the brotherly Libyan state. It was on the sidelines of the Conference of Labor Ministers of the country and the Sahel-Sahara communities, which was held for the 2 days on November 27 and 28, 2023, in the Libyan capital Tripoli, on behalf of Its Excellency the Minister Abdi Omar Said, the Minister of Labor responsible for formalization and social protection in Djibouti, and in the presence of a high-level delegation from the Ministry of Labor. His Excellency the Ambassador delivered our country's speeches at this conference, at the beginning of which he thanked His Excellency the Prime Minister of the Libyan National Unity Government for sponsoring this conference and raised the issue of combating unemployment in the member state and the proposed solutions emphasizing the role of our country in the fight against unemployment through the adoption by the government of community dialogue projects. The Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity yesterday closed training programs in manuals and IT professions for young Arabic speakers lasting 6 months at the Al-Rahma Training Center as part of the program's lasting solution carried out in collaboration between the two MASA and PAM with funding from the European Union chaired by Mr. Jibah bin Wafri Moussa at senior advisors from the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity. The ceremony took place in the presence of the Director General of Al-Rahma, Abdullah Ghani Al-Qureshi, but also sectoral and development partners such as the MENFOB, Qatar Charity, as well as the respective executive of these institutions involved in the activity is a continuation of the commitment to invest in human capital as an essential priority for long-term social and economic development. This project embodies the MASA strategy focused on the empowerment of poor households. In fact, the young Arabic-speaking laureate carefully selected from among the beneficiaries of social programs from the ministry's database, followed with diversified training programs including saving, welding, and carpentry and IT, designated with the aim of strengthening sustainable resilience within the vulnerable populations. This initiative is also part of the broader vision of the MAS aimed at promoting an escape from poverty and specializing. Mr. Mahmoud Bile Ali from the Technical Council expressed his joy at participating in this important certificate awarding event. He thanked the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity and its work for its commitment and the efforts made, and congratulated the young trainees for their success to a form of encouragement. He also made an encouraging appeal to the non-governmental organizations, urging them to play a proactive role in shaping and continuously supporting training approaches aimed at preparing this young talent for even broader horizon and promising. On the morning of Saturday, December 2, 2023, at 8 a.m., as part of the fight against narcotics, the gendarmes of the Ali Sabih Brigade exploited information according to which 3 individuals carrying backpacks would be visible in Grand Barra waiting for the vehicles to transport them to the capital. Immediately, the gendarmes went to the scene and, under the effects of surprises, arrested 3 individuals sitting under a tree. During the search carried out on their payback, investigators discovered the 49 cannabis pack of cannabis weighing 10 kilos with market values of 1 million Djibouti franc. During investigations, these involved claimed that they intended to sell these illicit goods on the local market by targeting young consumers. Given the seriousness of the fact, these traffickers were brought before the court to answer for their actions. So, to preserve the well-being of society, the gendarmerie urges young people to stay away from this product harmfully human health. For the international scene, the year 2023 will be the hottest in the history after a record month of November Copernicus. Since January, the average temperature has been the hottest ever measured over the first 11 months of the year, 1.46 degrees above the climate average for the period 1850s in 19. The year 2023 will be the hottest in history after an extraordinary November, which became the 6th consecutive month to break records. The European Copernicus Service declared on Wednesday in the midst of climate negotiations at the COP28. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.